Hi, this is Joe again with another review. For the sake of this video, this is of course timed for the 50th anniversary of the moon landing, which of course is the day before the actual 50th anniversary of the landing. This is July 19th, 2019. Of course, tomorrow will be July 20th, 2019, which is the exact anniversary of when Apollo 11 actually landed on the moon, and Neil Armstrong was the first human being to step foot on the moon. And of course, he said the famous words, "His one small step for man, and another giant leap for mankind." And he put a plaque on on the moon. Of course, that plaque was read in the very opening sequence of the 1986 movie Independence Day. So no trivia note there. Of course, the main subject I want to talk about this in this review, not just to mention this going to be the 50th anniversary of the moon landing, was to review an actual television show that is based on the moon landing, and it aired in 2001 on the Fox Television Network, and it is on YouTube, so you can check it out. It's called Conspiracy Theory: Did we really land on the moon? Of course, this is one of the first conspiracy theory themed shows that dealt with a particular incident of what happened. Of course, the moon landing was one of the early big conspiracy theories out there. Say the people like Richard Belzer, from Law and Order Special Victims Unit. He was really one of the first. Even though his character is fiction, I don't know if he really believes it in real life, or it's just because of his character was a conspiracy nut. And Richard Belzer plays, John Muntz, supposed to be a conspiracy nut. I don't know if he really believes it in real life, but his Law and Order character certainly did. I was supposed to say certainly did. And of course, based on that made this Fox Television Network made this special in 2001. It was hosted by or narrated by Mitch Pileggi. Of course, was on the X-Files, and it also was a narrator on the first 4 Magic Breaking the Magician's Code, or so to say, also known as the Max Magician shows. Episodes specials 1 through 4 in the series. He actually hosted it. And he was the one who narrated this one. It was a 1-hour show detailing all the conspiracy theories and proving, or trying to prove, that the moon landing was faked. Determined the famous one in 1969. And they pointed out, of course, since the most interesting part, at least for me, because I'm a photographer by trade, were the pictures, the so-called official NASA photographs of the astronauts on the moon. And they were detailing all the moon landing, or I think it was like 6 times we went to the moon. Including, of course, the most famous one in 1969. They said, the photographs are faked. So how can you fake a photograph? Well, the problem is that all the photographs were perfect. They're perfectly framed, perfectly exposed. And the problem is that the astronauts could not look down into the camera and to adjust the camera like I could. Here on Earth, could adjust the camera to take a perfect photograph or a perfect image. They couldn't do that because there's no viewfinder. They cannot look down and look through the viewfinder to take a perfect photograph. And not only that, but the lighting is wrong in the photograph. You see, the shadows are going in different directions, and something that's photographed in shadow was a perfect. You could see everything in the shadows. Even though it's supposed to be, you won't be able to see anything in the shadows. You're able to see it, and the reason why is because they had more than one light source. So how could they have more than one light source on the moon? All you had was the sun. And the only way you could see something in the shadow, like the astronauts coming off the limb onto the moon's surface, is because they either have a sheet which could reflect the sun onto where you're photographing. Like here, I'm sitting here, and the light from my window is reflecting off of me, so you can see my face. But if I turn it around, you won't be. If I turn it around and face and have the camera face the window, you're not gonna be able to see my face. All you're going to be able to see is the window. But sitting this way, you can see the light reflecting off of me. And it's a similar technique, but when you have a sheet that we use in a photography studio that will reflect the light onto your subject. And that's what they probably did on the moon, if not have another light source. But they're all shadows, so in different directions, and they're pointing this out. And they put, not only that, but NASA put crosshairs on the photographs. But the problem is they put products or stuff in front of the crosshair instead of behind the crosshair. The crosshair is probably on top of something and not behind something. And that's what they proved that as well. So I thought that was the most interesting part of the whole thing. For me, like I said earlier, I'm a photographer. But they put other stuff, there was a radiation belt around the planet Earth. And so if they go through that, they had to go through that to get to the moon, and like thousands of miles long, this radiation belt. Not only is it around the whole planet, but it's thousands of miles long to get through it, to get to where the moon is. And if you go through that, you will see like a lethal dose of radiation. You either be dead by the time you get to the moon, or almost dead by the time you get there. So they have all these little things. And all the NASA is always saying this is wrong, or those are silly, those are stupid. They actually had on this show a NASA spokesman who said, "Oh, they want, especially with the photographs, oh, they want optically, they want visually, they want this way, they're just wrong." And the conspiracy nuts are just wrong. But that's because they say that the NASA spokesman said they're wrong, doesn't disprove what the theory is. Same thing with the photographs. On the photographs, on the radiation belt. Just because the NASA says they're wrong, doesn't disprove the theory. I mean, doesn't disprove the theory, the conspiracy theories. So what kind of balls does this guy have to say that everything that they're saying is a lie, and conspiracy nuts? But unfortunately, they didn't prove anything. They didn't prove that one thing. At all. But the show itself was on the show Conspiracy Theory, Do We Really Land on the Moon? Is an interesting show, and it makes you think differently about the actual physical moon landing. And he did link the show Never Fails. There's a stupid motorcycle every time we do these running around outside, every time we do these reviews lately. I like to strangle this guy. They knew they're doing a review now and saying to ruin it. But anyway, it is an interesting way to think. And another part of the interesting show, the conspiracy theory show, is some of the more unspoken astronauts were killed in mysterious ways because they were outspoken critics of the space program. So they have a mistake. NASA like bumped them off. I mean, that's kind of a bit of a stretch. I mean, stretch because it's not proven like any other conspiracy theory. But the show itself is not exactly boring. It's an interesting show. And I suggest people look at it, let's get the other side of it. And I'm surprised at the fact that Fox Television hasn't repeated this show this week because of the 50th anniversary of the original moon landing. Again, maybe because they re-aired this show, they'll get a lot of crap for it, not flack for it. So I guess that's probably the reason why they haven't aired it. Again, since the original earrings back in 2001, I think they aired like twice. The original airing and then they repeated it like a couple of weeks later because I think they got pretty decent ratings for it. I think maybe 20 million people or something tuned in to watch that thing on the original broadcast. Because they got a lot of interest in the original broadcast, they repeated it. But unfortunately, 18 years later, they haven't repeated it since, unfortunately. But it is on YouTube, and you can check it out really anytime. But the show itself is a pretty interesting show for itself. So that's my review of Conspiracy Theory: Did We Really Land on the Moon? Please click on the video, please read it. Please subscribe to my channel, please forward this video to your Facebook pages. You can check out all my reviews and on my YouTube channel at RealityC.com, that's all WDY, C.com, that's the homepage of the Reality Reviewer. Chris Lee Moore, please check out all of his videos on his website. Thanks for watching, catch you next time.